Hello and welcome. This was meant to be Wednesday's video because, again, I'm still behind. As always, it feels like. But, yeah. We're going to do another Wealthy Monsters episode for this video. Today, we're looking at our first monster, who is actually not an American. Let me get the window back up here. From the Wikipedia World Billionaire List 2024, number 1, which he's dropped, but Bernard Arnault. He's since been surpassed, but yeah. Because there you see Elon, Bezos, Zuckerberg, Ellison. If you look at the Bloomberg 10 richest billionaires, they have Elon on top, followed by Zuckerberg, Bezos, Ellison, and then Arnault. So, yeah. Bernard Arnault from France. Then, yeah, here's straight from Forbes. Real-time billionaires list. Musk, Bezos, Zuckerberg, Ellison, Bernard Arnault, and family. Now, who is Bernard Arnault? He was born March the 5th, 1949 in Roubaix. I'm probably butchering that. I do not speak French. France. He is a French businessman, best known as the chairman and CEO of the French conglomerate LVMH. Moet, Hennessy, Louis Vuitton. Yeah, LV, Louis Vuitton, M, Moet, H, Hennessy, and then SA. The largest luxury products company in the world. A bit about who he is as an individual. He would graduate from École Polytechnique in Paris with a degree in engineering. In 1971, he took control of his father's construction firm, Ferret-Savinel. 8 years later, he changed the company's name to Ferret-Savinel Incorporated and shifted its focus to real estate. So no longer building, but real estate. With $15 million of his own money, Arnault, together with Antoine Bernheim, a managing partner of the French bank Lazard Frères and Company, raised the $80 million necessary to purchase Boussac Saint Ferret, a bankrupt textile company that owned the fashion house of Christian Dior. Then, in 1987, Arnault was invited to invest in LVMH by the company's chairman, Henri Racamier, investing through a joint venture with Guinness PLC. Arnault ousted Racamier in 1990 and started to sweep a slew of fashion companies into the LVMH fold. Christian Lacroix, Givenchy, and Kenzo. the leather goods companies Loewe, Celine, and Berluti. The jeweler Fred Hoyer, the DFS Group, the world's biggest duty-free chain, and the beauty retailer Sephora. So yeah, we already see a number of big brands. He already owned bought Christian Dior, which, yeah, it's a big name when it comes to cologne and some clothes. Dior. Then he was invited into Louis Vuitton Moet Hennessy and took over the company. And as we've already discussed, Louis Vuitton, big fashion, designing clothes and accessories, and yeah. We often see DFS Group, which I think it's just duty-free stores, in my members of Congress donations video series I do. So, and then of course Sephora, which is a big makeup brand. So yeah, all of these are under the Arnault branch. So yeah, Arnault was known in Europe as the man who revitalized French couture in 1995 by appointing British fashion designer Jean Galliano to replace the venerable Hubert de Givenchy at the latter's Paris fashion house. A year later, the Pope of Fashion, as Arnault was dubbed by Women's Wear Daily, moved Galliano to Christian Dior and appointed the brash British fashion designer Alexander McQueen to replace him at Givenchy. Arnault then hired Marc Jacobs, a young American designer, to the post of creative director at Louis Vuitton, the maker of luxury leather goods that year. LVMH also acquired a majority stake in Jacobs' eponymous line. Although all three designers eventually left their positions, Arnault's fashion foresight had revived interest in the traditional fashion houses by the early 21st century. So yeah, Dior, Givenchy, Louis Vuitton, as we discussed, they own Sephora. Part of their name is Hennessy. That's what the H stands for, which is, I forget what kind of alcohol it is. I think it's a vodka. But anyway, yeah. Arnault continued to acquire luxury brands, including the Italian company Fendi, the iconic French department store La Samaritane, Italian jewelry brand Bulgari, and the classic American jeweler Tiffany & Company. He also built the Fondation Louis Vuitton, a contemporary art museum in the Bois à Boulogne. in Paris, designed by Canadian-American architect Frank Gehry. In 2007, Arnault was named Commander of the Legion of Honor, one of France's highest distinctions. So yeah. And that's just from Britannica. So this guy is wealthy from owning big luxury brands. Let's see. But a look at the company itself that he ended up owning, LVMH, Moet, Hennessy, Louis Vuitton, SE, although some say SA. Yeah, see, like that, SA. Yeah, deals with luxury goods. Starting off, the only company he ended up owning to start off with is his dad's building company. He turned it into real estate. From there, he started purchasing the luxury things. Yeah, Moet en Chandon is a French winery. Hennessy, cognac. Okay. Maker of French cognac, which is another alcohol. And then, of course, Louis Vuitton, accessory maker and perfumes. So, yeah. Let's see. It is now under the Arnault family. Bernard is still, of course, chairman and CEO, but Antoine and Delphine Arnault are both directors as well as CEO of Christian Dior SE and CEO of Christian Dior Couture. Yeah, products, clothing, cosmetics, fashion accessories, jewelry, perfumes, spirits, the wine and cognac, watches, and wines. Well, they got wines separately, but yeah, cognac. But yeah, it's up there around the 200 billion mark. The company was formed in 1987 through the merger of fashion house Louis Vuitton, which was originally founded in 1854, with Moet Hennessy, which had been established by the 1971 merger between the champagne producer Moet and Chandon, founded in 1743, and the cognac producer Hennessy, founded in 1765. And like we've already expressed, Arnault started first luxury was Dior house, and he managed to get his way in, get invited into the company and take over. But yeah, their portfolio includes Christian Dior, Givenchy, Fendi, Celine, Kenzo, Tiffany, Bulgari, Lowe, Tag Heuer, Marc Jacobs, Stella McCartney, Sephora, and Loro Piana. But yeah. That's the company we're dealing with, that Bernard Arnault owns. That's made him so wealthy. And you can kind of imagine where he's doing wealth and luxury goods. Yeah. February 2025, an estimated net worth of US dollars 186.8 billion, according to Forbes, and 192 billion according to Bloomberg. So yeah. He was born March 5th, 1949, in Roubaix, France. His mother was a pianist named Marie-Joseph Savinel, daughter of Etienne Savinel, but she had a fascination with Dior. His father was a manufacturer, Jean-Léon Arnault, a graduate of École Centrale Paris, and owned the civil engineering company, construction company, Ferret-Savinel. So apparently he married into the company and thus owned it that way. Because his wife, her maiden name was Savinel, as is half of the company's name. So, interesting. He was raised in a strict Catholic Auvergne style by his devoutly Catholic grandmother, and took classical piano lessons. Let me look something up right quick. I was hoping to see if they had any information on Ferret-Savinel. How big, how successful, or anything. To see if maybe he had a bit of help growing up in a more well-to-do family. In 1971, graduated from École Polytechnique, France's leading engineering school, and began work in his father's company soon after. Convinced his father to switch to real estate. It then sold the industrial construction division and was renamed Ferret-Savinel, F-E-R-I-N-E-L. So taking the first half and the last half. The acquisition of a textile company and a relocation of its headquarters, the company renamed the real estate branch to the George V. Groot. The real estate assets were later sold to another company, Compagnie Générale de Eau, eventually becoming Nexity. Okay, there's mention of Ferret-Savinel. President of Ferret-Savinel, 78 to 84. In 84, he was a young real estate developer. Heard that the French government was set to choose someone to take over the Boussac Saint Frères empire, a textile and retail conglomerate that owned Christian Dior. And of course, we remember his mother apparently was obsessed with Dior, and Dior would be the first fashion company, luxury company he would own. With the help of Antoine Bernheim, a senior partner of Lazard Frères, Arnault acquired the Financière Agache, a luxury goods company. He became the CEO and would win the bidding war for Boussac Saint Frères. Again, I'm not sure how it's pronounced. Buying the group for a ceremonial 1 franc. After effectively taking control of it. Of course, he would lay off 9,000 workers in 2 years, giving them the name the Terminator. He sold nearly all the company's assets, keeping only the Christian Dior brand and Le Bon Marché department store. By 1987, the company was profitable again and booked earnings of $112 million on a revenue stream of $1.9 billion. He would work with Alain Chevalier, CEO of Moet Hennessy, and Henry Recamier, president of Louis Vuitton, to form LVMH in 1987. In 1988, Arnault provided $1.6 billion to form a holding company with Guinness. I'm guessing the beer maker Guinness. Yep. Brewery. Dublin, Ireland. Guinness is a good alcohol. A bit off topic, but yeah, Guinness is some good stuff. If you've never had it, give it a shot. I far prefer it to most American beers. It just tastes so much better. So much more satisfying. But anyway, that company he would form with Guinness would hold 24% of the LVMH's shares. In response to rumors that Louis Vuitton Group was buying LVMH's stock to form a blocking minority, Arnault spent $600 million to buy 13.5% more of LVMH, making him LVMH's largest shareholder. Always one of the problems when you go public. People can end up buying enough stock in your company to effectively take over. So yeah, we don't know how valuable the original company was, but apparently he somehow managed to have enough wealth to make these moves. Real estate development, and then would end up taking over Boussac Saint Redes. Anyway, yeah. So a lot of what they've done is buy out all these big name companies to own them. 1999, Arnault turned his eyes to Gucci. Discreetly amassed a 5% stake in the company before being detected. Gucci would respond hostilely and call it a creeping takeover. Arnault would then up his stake to 34.4% while insisting he wanted to be a supportive and unassertive stakeholder. You up your stake to owning a third of the company. I just want to be supportive and unassertive. Sure. Desailly proposed that in return for board representation, Arnault would stop increasing his stake in Gucci. Arnault rejected this proposal. Oh. So, set up a loophole that allowed them to issue shares, but with only board approval. And for every share purchased by LVMH and Arnault would create more shares for his employees, thus diluting Arnault's stake. It would eventually sell its shares and walk away with $700 million in profit. So they didn't get Gucci, but they were pretty close. Jeez. Invested in Netflix in 1999. Tiffany and Company. If you're not sure who that is, there's a movie starring Aubrey Hepburn, Breakfast at Tiffany's. So yeah, it's that Tiffany's, Tiffany and Company. In 1973, married Anne de Waverine, 73. So remember, 71 is when he got out of college, I think it said it was, and took part in his father's construction company. So yeah. They would have two children, Delphine and Antoine. They would separate in 1990. So altogether, 17 years. In 1991, he married Helene Mercier, a Canadian-born concert pianist. They have three sons, Alexander, Frederick, and Jean. Arnault and Mercier live in Paris. Arnault has 4 grandchildren, 2 from Antoine and 2 from Delphine. All 5 children have special roles in brands controlled by Arnault, along with his niece, Stephanie Watene Arnault. Let's see. Alexander is the EVP of Tiffany and Company, Executive Vice President. Frederick is the CEO of LVMH Watches. And Jean is the Director of Watchmaking, Marketing, and Development at Louis Vuitton. Since 2010, Arnault's daughter Delphine has been with Xavier Niel, a French billionaire businessman active in the telecommunications and technology industry. Effective February 1st, 2023, Delphine became the chief executive officer of the luxury brand Dior. It might be Delphine. I'm not sure, again, how it's pronounced. April 1999, Arnault was first considered to be the richest person in fashion. Fashion, luxury goods type stuff, so yeah. August 2021, Arnault regained the status of the wealthiest man in the world. He had lost it to Jeff Bezos. No, it was during the pandemic. His wealth shrunk by $30 billion because of plummeting sales of his luxury goods. So he was the richest man in the world in 2016. In 2019. He became second richest. He would briefly surpass Bezos. Yeah, so Bezos was the richest man at that point. He would fall back again, though. He would regain the status of the wealthiest man in August 2021. April 2023. He would become the richest person in the world once again, this time surpassing Musk. Musk, though, would surpass Arnault in June 2023. So, yeah. He's made a request for Belgium citizenship, which Belgium's right next door to France, where he's originally from, so. He would abandon his application. He announced he would abandon it. Has an art collection with pieces from Picasso, Yves Klein, Henry Moore, and Andy Warhol. Awards and honors. He has the Grand Cross of the Legion d'Honneur, presented by France on December the 31st, 2023. Commander of the Order des Arts et des Lettres by France. Grand Officer of the Order of Merit of the Italian Republic, given to him by Italy in 2006. Medal of Pushkin, given to him by Russia in 2017. Honorary Knight Commander of the Most Excellent Order of the British Empire, given to him by the UK in 2012. The Woodrow Wilson Award for Global Corporate Citizenship in 2011. The Museum of Modern Art's David Rockefeller Award, given to him March 2014. But yeah. So, Bernard Arnault and family. Yeah, this 2024, he was listed at number 1. 2023, number 1. 2022, he fell back to number 3. 2021, he was still number 3. 2020, 3. 2019, he was 4th. 2018, 4th. 2017, I don't even see him on the list. Okay, so yeah, but in the last few years, he's been really raking in the money. This is the world billionaire list, which I believe it, as decided by Forbes. And Bloomberg list. Yeah, he's 5th. Here, it don't do it by years. But yeah. As you can see, I've already done the 4 previous to him. Elon Musk, Zuckerberg, Bezos, and Ellison. So yeah. And then the Forbes real-time billionaire list. You got Musk, Bezos, Zuckerberg, Ellison, and then again Bernard Arnault. So yeah. But yeah, this has been a look at Bernard Arnault. Pretty well off. Head of LVMH, which owns Louis Vuitton, Dior, Sephora, Tiffany, Hennessy, a lot of upper end brands. But we'll go ahead and end this episode here. As always, educate thyself, think, read, study, learn. Someone tells you something you have trouble believing, ask them to cite their sources. I'll be putting my links and sources in the description box below the video. Thank you all for watching. I'll see you all in the next one. Until then, later.